Now this, we have been reporting that Apple has been having some production issues with the iPhone X. Our next guest has some information on that, which is very important to the stock price. Gene Munster is with us, managing partner at Loup Ventures. Okay, is the iPhone X going to be delayed, and if so, for how long?
It will be available, and so mark your calendars for all those of you who are looking for it. It's Friday, October 27th, 3:01 a.m. Eastern Time. Just mention that because it will become available for pre-orders at that time. Actually become available in the stores on Friday, November 3rd. The reason why I wanted to go over all this stuff is that's all on track, but that's only part of the story because there are some production issues around this 3D laser. It's called a VCSEL array on the front of it, which kind of maps your face and allows you to open up your phone, and also the new display. So what all of this means is you're going to have to wait. If you are asleep at 3 in the morning and happen to get up at 8 a.m., for example, and place your order on the 27th, my guess is that phone is probably going to be delivered somewhere in the middle of the month of December. So you got to be ready on the trigger.
So a slight delay for some of the functions on the iPhone X, but you can pre-order on October the 27th and you get it in the stores on November the 3rd. That's about right?
Well, I think if you're right there at 3:01, I mean, you have to be on the trigger, on the mark to get that on November 3rd. I think if the lead times, that's the time that you have to wait to get the phone, are going to quickly extend. And so that's kind of this idea that it'll probably end up being, for most people, 4 to 6 week delay in getting the phone. Even though it's going to ship on time, there's going to be a delay in getting it actually to consumers.
Yeah, you know, that doesn't go down well with investors. And this...
It doesn't.
You know, it doesn't. I mean, Apple is hanging around $156 per share. I tend to believe that if there was absolutely no problem with supply and delivery on time, the stock would be higher. Would you agree with that?
It would be higher. Investors are generally aware that Apple struggles with this almost every cycle. This one is going to be a little bit more acute given some of the more advanced technology in this phone. And so I'm going to put some perspective on what's going to happen with the analyst estimates. Is there's going to be about 5 million units because of this production constraints are going to get pushed into March. But I think the real takeaway here is that if this phone is successful as we think it, this is going to be an $80 billion franchise, annual franchise. And that should provide some upside to the street estimates over the next year. I think that's more important than a 4 to 6 week delay.
Fair point. Last point. You really like the iPhone X, don't you?
I do. I think it's the best upgrade in the last 3 years. And I think a lot more people are going to buy this than the $1,000 price point would suggest.
Okay, we always come to you because you know what you're talking about. Gene Munster, you're all right. Thanks for joining us, sir. We will see you again.